$9,000, and this is a grant for adult education. So if the division wants to start spending that money, we cannot allow them to spend because the amendment has not been keyed into our system. Therefore, we cannot allow POs to be processed.
Was there a previous vote on the grant?
On the main grant, yes, this is an extension of the grant. This is a September, if I'm correct, Dr. Arnold, an extension of the grant for the month of September. And there's an agenda item on the later on the agenda that basically allows for the extension of the grant. And so I'm basically following the appropriation of that grant into our books so that we can incorporate the budget for that grant that we just received. So, I mean, we can bring it back in September, but it is going to delay our operations because the divisions will submit requests to expand, and we'll hold them because there is no money in the line item, therefore they cannot proceed with their commitment.
Well, if it's really important, we can have an emergency meeting.
Can I move the table that
Requires a second. Requires a second and isn't debated.
It's already got a motion.
we have an amended motion?
Correct.
Okay, so
Well, I think we should withdraw the amended motion, just go on the original motion.
I'll withdraw the amended motion.
and now I move to table this.
We move to table and it requires a second. The motion isn't debatable. So I'll request the vote.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to table. Is there any discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion.
discussion.
Okay. I call for a vote to table this until later, so I'll signify by saying, raising of hands. Okay, that's 2. Opposed? 2. And council.
So the motion to table fails because it's a split vote. Equal vote means the motion fails. So we go back to the original.
Okay, so back to the original motion. All those in favor of, we have a motion and a second on this budget. All those in favor of the monthly budget amendment report, signify by saying aye or raising hands. Opposed? Okay, motion fails. Okay, so we move on to 6C6. ABC West for fiscal year 14 to 15 for extended school year ESY summer school program in the aggregate amount of $15,900 with Fort Bend ISD for 3 units. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? I'll second. Okay, is there any discussion?
Just quickly, Madam President, I'd like to call the board's attention to there was actually a correction made on the date. This was for school year 14-15, and then your board packet, I believe, we had 15-16.
Okay.
That's on C2, right?
That's on 6C6.
66.
Ask for discussion. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion. All those in favor of item 6C6, raise your hand. Item passes 4-0. Now we move on to non-consensus items. 7A, consider possible action on certification of the anticipated debt collections rate for the tax year 2014, certification of the excess debt collection rate for the tax year 2014, and the collection of the 2015 effective tax rate and rollback calculation to be prepared by Harris County Tax Assessor Collector. Do I have a motion?
second.
Motion one, done. Second. Okay, any discussion on this one?
Yes, I'd like to clarify for the speaker's earlier question, the answer to the excess debt collections is none.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none.
I
All those,
I have a question. So is it the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector that does prepare this, or is it somebody here?
It's done by the actual letter is in here,
Okay.
and it's prepared by the tax office.
I think it's just my question.
okay. All right, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor of item 7A, please signify by raising your hand. Passes 4-0. 7B, consider first reading of the following revised local policies reviewed by the Board Policy Committee on July 21, 2015. ADBB, DEA, DEAA, DEC, DEE, DFFA, DHE, CEA, DGBA, EB, and FFG. Do I have a motion? A second? I'll second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote on 7B. All those in favor, raise your hand.
While you're doing first reading on this one, you're not voting for the policies themselves. Your board policy requires a first reading and then a vote on the policies. So usually during the first reading, if anybody has questions on the policies or concerns regarding the policies, that's when you bring them up.
These are state policies.
These are recommended by the Texas Association of School Boards, exactly.
Okay. Do you have a question?
More comment. We discussed all these policies in the policy committee meeting, I believe, and everyone here was present, so kind of wondering what's going on.
Are there any reservations?
If you want to know what's going on, is that not everybody agreed.
On all of them, A through K?
Well, you can't vote on them one at a time.
I know, but I asked the question on all of them, A through K. Is there any one individual?
I am not prepared to discuss.
So first reading does not necessarily require action. We bring these back for a vote at second reading at the next board meeting. I would recommend that if there are board members with concerns, they bring that to administration's attention prior to a vote on these at second reading. And the sooner the better. And I would also recommend that if there are concerns by one board member, other board members may have them. And so this is an appropriate setting. This is why you have the first reading. This is an appropriate setting to bring those concerns out.
So, we'll go back to, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, we're going to now vote by raise of hand for item 7B. All in favor? And opposed? Okay, no action is taken on
The motion failed.
No action taken because the motion failed. Exactly.
So how does that affect the policy? How do we proceed from here? Since it's just a first
Since it's
reading,
just a first
not
reading.
approval of it.
Correct. No action is necessarily required on first reading. It's just a belt and suspenders that you guys take a vote. So you just bring it back for second reading at the next board meeting or when you're ready to do so. And again, I would encourage anybody with concerns to bring those up before second reading. Many of these policies are implementing changes either required by law, statute, amendments, case law, and so to not have these policies up to date could cause the department not to be in compliance with Texas and federal laws. So any concerns should be brought out, and I'd be happy to address them from a legal perspective with the administration or any board member who would like to so discuss.
that. Moving on on. 7C, consider approval of a renewal revenue interlocal agreement between HCDE and the City of Houston for the period of September 1, 2015 through June 30, 2016, in the amount of $700,000 for the HCDE PACE for Kids Division to provide after-school programs and/or out-of-school activities and projects.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. There's been a request by a board member that I'm not sure you heard.
I didn't hear you.
But we don't have to have a vote on that?
No, you don't need to take a vote to recess. The chair will.
Okay, yes. All right, we will recess for 20 minutes.
The time is now